community, I would at least go as far as calling it a misconception or something like that, at least regarding manifesting money. And there are a lot of people also saying that there are misconceptions regarding it, and like this is the way to manifest, or this is the way to do it instead. My take on it is that the problem isn't the way people are usually manifesting. It's rather that it's doesn't really work. It's not that it doesn't work at all. It depends on what you mean with manifesting, of course. But the way in which most people think it works, I think, and the way it's taught by many people, and the way it seems when they are speaking about it, like a person from The Secret, or Joe Dispenza or Bob Proctor, or any of these very known spiritual gurus, whatever name you want to use, seems like you can just go into a state and sort of manifest money. I made a search here on YouTube just to see what comes up. I searched for how to manifest money, and this is, you can see The Secret is one of the first, or he has it in his thumbnail at least. It's not from The Secret, I think. 24 hours. 3 ways to manifest money in 24 hours or less. How to manifest money in 24 hours, 7 minutes, manifest money, 99% accuracy rate. Wow, this worked overnight. So there's a lot of anecdotal examples, of course, with people saying, that, yeah, this worked for me or this worked for me. And I'm sure it's true in a lot of cases. It's just as anecdotal evidence is anecdotal. We asked ChatGPT about whether or not there are any studies on actual manifestation, because that would be really interesting. I think manifestation is a bit like researching paranormal phenomena. In general, there are suggestions that paranormal phenomena do happen, not just in people's minds, but in actual reality. For example, people seem to have the ability to affect, random number generators. So in that way, but yeah, the thing is that it's just marginally, it's just, so much, it's just a tad, which is, in statistical terms, it is a lot. It's a lot in that it is proven, or it is beyond doubt that, this shouldn't be happening according to statistics, which we use for evaluating claims like this. But the effect sizes, or however you want to talk about it, is just, a very small fraction. It's not let's say you can manifest, to make it in general terms, like $5 a month. That would be, even if it's just $5, if you can prove that you're out of thin air sort of were able to manifest. That's not, of course, how they do the paranormal studies, but that is sort of the idea, that you have this, that you sort of manifest money out of thin air, or you dream it up, and it turns into reality. There doesn't seem to be studies, at least not according to ChatGPT, on manifestation and the degree to which it actually works in actual reality. But I think we have this problem, which we have with paranormal studies in general, that some people seem to have some effect, and those who don't believe it don't have an effect when they do the same studies. And even when they do get results, it's again so marginal. It's such a small effect. It's still highly valuable, but it's not for an individual person. To get $5 in 1 month isn't gonna make a whole lot of a difference. So what we do have is Martin Seligman. They refer to the psychological impact of positive thinking. So of course, if we are more positive, if we're more grateful, and those things, we may that may have an impact on our income too. That is, of course, true. Carol Dweck says that her research on mindset growth versus fixed indicates that having a positive growth-oriented mindset can lead to greater achievement, which might include financial success. However, this success comes from hard work and perseverance rather than manifestation alone. Yeah, so there, and she's speaking about personality traits. Personality traits are, to a large degree, biological, inherited. There are a lot of studies done on twins, and especially monozygotic twins, because then you have both of them share all of their genes, and you take them and you have some reared in the same family, and you take another couple of them reared apart in different families, so you can see the difference between having a shared environment and not having a shared environment. And you can see, or what you do see, is that they have the same personality traits, they have the same dispositions, preferences, they even go vacation in the same spot, it seems, even though they have never met each other. So a lot of it is biological, and so is the preference for money, so is the mindset around money, so is the relationship we have towards money. It's very much inherited. It does matter, though, in what social economic class you grew up in. So if we have monozygotic twins reared apart, growing up, one in poverty and someone else in abundant rich family, that person in the abundant rich family will have much more given success given to them. They may inherit a lot of money, so they have wealth, or they are sent to a good school and get a good education and get a good job, and and networking and all those things, which makes them make more money. But that's just because of environmental factors. It's not because of manifestation. It's genetics plus environment. So here, manifestation is more, your own free will, sort of, which a lot of science is not that fond of, basically. And even I would say it's not just modern science that is mostly against the idea of free will, based on studies and also a bit of philosophy. There's also people like Ramana Maharishi and other gurus that say the same thing, that everything is just playing itself out, basically. So, I mean, if you're doing manifestation and it works, it is, it doesn't really say anything, but it says that you don't have any free will, so you can't really do anything, but you can have the experience of doing it. So it's kind of a null, mute argument in some ways. I don't know what it adds, but we do know, if we look in relative terms, we have a biology, we have an environment, and it seems like those two things statistically make up for much, if not all, of people's income. That's just, looking at it factually. And yeah, I guess it's also kind of interesting to note that the people doing manifestation work are oftentimes, of course, there's this Bob Proctor and Joe Dispenza, who are famous and rich spiritual guys. But in general, most people who are looking at these videos of manifesting, they are poor, or poorer, I would say, than the general population. I don't have the statistics here, but that's true for, there are many people who have an interest in spirituality over money, for example, makes them make less money. That's just such a given. I think it's so obvious that if a person doesn't have that much of an interest in money, they may have an interest in having it, but they don't have a preference to do the work, as it says here, that the best correlation between making money is, being born in a wealthy family, having the genes of other successful people, and working a lot. Most people that make a lot of money work a lot, and they just do a lot of work. and they do work geared towards making money. and they make decisions all day long towards, not inheriting, but saving money. And yeah, I'm going to read on here from what ChatGPT says. Behavioral economics and financial success. So there are some traits that is linked to income and wealth, and those are delayed gratification, or they call it mindsets even. But mindsets is basically you don't choose it, just as you don't choose your personality. You can't choose to not, just as you don't choose your preferences. It's not like you can choose to not enjoy ice cream or prefer a certain type of partners or whatever it is, political leanings, whatever. Those are very much all made up with inside of you. It's genes and it's environment, and you're not really privy to the mechanisms of or affecting the mechanisms that make up those traits. They're just there for you. And what I say here is delayed gratification. So if you have that trait, that's good for money, income, and higher studies, and living a good life in general. Savings behavior, if you have a behavior of saving, and that again, it's personality and environment. It's that determines that to a large degree. It's not just your mindset, your mindset, because that's why I heard a friend of mine just saying the other day that she got the advice to, money is just a mindset. If that were the case, then everything would be just like that, and everybody would just change their mindset, of course. That's like saying not being fat is just a mindset, or being the president is just a mindset, or whatever it is. Going to the moon is just a mindset. Those things are deeply, deeply biological. They're deeply tied to our personality, which is deeply tied to biology and the environment in which we grew up. Of course, also trauma and those kinds of things. We really don't have that much of. It's a philosophical and different discussion about free will, but it's not up to us to just change our mindset and start making money. That's why manifestation doesn't really work. It may work for some people at some times, and I mean, that's great. I just wouldn't, bet on it. It's such a long shot. If you need, a stable income, or if you really you're in need for money. I mean, if you need it in a week, sure, go for it. But manifestation, I would say, is almost like buying a lottery ticket. It has the same value and the same, it's not a lot of risk either. They have that too as a trait. Risk taking together with delayed gratification and savings behavior are linked to better financial outcomes. And they say while these behaviors can be influenced by positive thinking, they require concrete actions rather than mere thoughts. And that's the thing. Most people who make money, they just make money. Most people who don't make money, they just don't make money. And a lot of people think about money. Even those who make a lot of money think about making more money, but they can't choose to make, the double. It's not a mindset for them either. You look at people making more than you and you think that, they are doing so good, but they look at people that make more than them and hear the same thing. Maybe it's just a mindset, just manifest it into reality. And they can't. They make more than you, but they can't make as much as Anthony Robbins or some other guy. And that's because of the reality, basically, the reality of biology, the reality of environment, and a reality of inherited wealth and inherited traits, cognitive functions, and whatnot. Doesn't make them better people or anything. It's just make them better at generating money, we could say. So or at least they make more money. And it's not really that they are, what do you say? I don't see what I'm doing as something that is really, that I should be proud of it, because what I'm doing is just the effect of my biology. I didn't choose this. I didn't choose my environment. I didn't choose to be born in Sweden and have and have such bad pronunciation in English. So if I'm bad at that, I also don't see that as a negative thing about me. I don't control those things. It's out of my control. I mean, I can work on my English, of course, and get better at it, but I can never have the same pronunciation as someone born there. It would take, or yeah, maybe if I would dedicate my life to it, I might. I don't know what's possible. But again, to me, manifestation can work statistically for a few people, just as buying a lottery ticket works for some people. It is a shot in the dark, though, for most people. I think there may be also, this is more on the paranormal side, at least to Jeffrey Martin, a sort of researcher within spirituality. He says that some people are better at it, basically, because of where they are spiritually, we could say, than they are able to manifest. I would say that even the idea of manifesting is not really that spiritual, depending on how you do it, of course. But having things for yourself, how could that be, the most important thing? I would, I like the prayers, yeah, I only know it in Swedish, but show me the way and make me willing to follow it. That is my prayer. I mean, if what comes to you like intuitively is to ask for money, sure. I mean, if that's true for you. To me, it just seems a bit focused on the self and your own, your own. I mean, if you're poverty struck, or you're in desperate need, of course it's totally up to everyone to do what they want to do. But I would say it is spiritual materialism, as in the words of Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, in many ways, to want to manifest things for yourself. I mean, whoever did Jesus do that? He wasn't too focused on it. I don't think the Buddha was either. I don't think Mary Magdalene either. Most people throughout history that we look up to, they didn't manifest cars. There weren't cars there then, but didn't have a focus on getting things for themselves. I don't know why. I mean, why is that even? I can understand that it's a thing, though. I mean, I understand most of the world is geared towards having things and having money. So, and if it's not the ego thing, if it's just coming out of abundance, as many of them say, sure, go for it. And even if it's not, if you want to do it, that's fine. I just wouldn't put any money on it, figuratively, um, metaphorically, because it doesn't work. It doesn't seem to work, except for very few people, and it's hard to say why it works for them. Maybe it is some spiritual thing. Maybe they have some spiritual leanings or way of speaking to the universe. And then the other thing, what is the most important thing to do? Is it to walk the the middle way, or walk the way of Jesus, or whatever your faith is, or whatever your non-sectarian or spiritual but not religious faith is? To me, it just isn't very interesting to do that. I want I want to be shown the way. I want to I want God to work through me, or the life force to work through me. And if that means, of course, if that would be mean me being sitting watching YouTube videos, how to manifest in 24 hours or 7 minutes, yeah, then I would do that, of course. If that is the truth for me, I would just kind of, yeah, it hasn't been for me. Okay, so to wrap it up, again, it can work with manifestation. For some people, it seems anecdotally. In general, though, it doesn't, because if it would, we would have a lot of rich spiritual dudes everywhere who just do this 24 hours manifestations, and it doesn't happen. I mean, I know a lot of people who who tried it, who've been working on it, and they are still poor, or I mean, they're not getting any from it, at least. The ones I know that make a lot of money are just, they have good jobs, they, have a stable income, they have inherited money, those things, and they are, yeah, they have a good income, or they are just rich from birth, basically. There are some people that, of course, work their way up, but that's the thing, they work their way up. They, they have a propensity, they have preferences, they have biology, they have, they want to do this, they have a focus on making money every day, throughout the day, all day long, all week long, or month, years, and they just work and work and work towards that goal. That's very different from not doing that and sitting thinking about money and manifesting. I mean, if you want to do it, that's fine. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's just, yeah, even that time, I think mostly is just wasted. It's better to do to do something else. At least if you ask me. So, okay, that's it. Thank you.